Hello everyone, this is Mr. Brain Junkie here, and today we'll be talking about a fantasy action film called The Legend of Enveloped Demons. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. A long time ago, demons have appeared on Earth by using a material known as the Dragon Stone, which contains tremendous amounts of power. However, this also allowed the humans to forge weapons using the material and giving the people a chance to fight against the monsters. Somewhere inside a dark forest, two girls are hiding away from something very dangerous while trying to remain as quiet as possible. What they don't realize is that the demon has already found their location, who kills the elder sister immediately. Before the young girl can be taken as well, she quickly runs away from the monster and begins sprinting across the forest, but is eventually surrounded by the heinous demon. The creature chases behind the human and rushes in to make the kill, but the girl is quickly rescued by a demon hunter who knocks away the monster by using his shield. It turns out that the man's name is Tenshi, and he's here with his second brother Chen, who's wielding a big sword, alongside his youngest brother Fion, who's a master archer. The demon hunters plan on taking down the hideous witch altogether, which causes the creature to run away immediately while the humans chase her closely behind. The demon flies desperately in the air while the hunters are leaping across the forest, and eventually manages to knock away the enemy as they cut off the creature's head. At the same time, the young girl is running across the grass fields as she tries to escape from the fight, but is quickly stunned by a huge explosion right beside her. It's quickly revealed that the girl has ran into an even bigger battle where the demon hunters are fighting against a gigantic monster. The humans attack the creature furiously, but is quickly overpowered by the enemy and devoured like prey. With no other choice, the hunters try to slow down the monster by using their ropes, but is eventually thrown away into the air as they're completely outmatched by the giant beast. This forces the humans to regroup immediately as they try to plan for the next course of attack against the giant demon that seems to be invincible. Suddenly, the flying head of the demon witch is thrown directly at the enormous beast, while the three brothers have arrived onto the battlefield as well. The people look towards the master for what to do next, while the monster roars furiously at the hunters. The old man sees this and commands the warriors to attack all together, while the humans charge at the giant creature and launching everything that they have. However, the demon is clearly too strong as it easily crushes the hunters and begins charging up a massive fireball in its mouth. Luckily, Tenshi manages to jump into the air while launching directly towards the enemy and slashing the creature right on the head. When the man eventually looks up, he realizes that he failed to stop the fireball, which is quickly launching towards the young girl. This causes a huge explosion that knocks the hunter onto the ground. The master sees this and charges in towards the monster while stabbing the creature on its neck, but is quickly knocked off and crushed under the enemy's feet. Seeing that their leader has fallen while the demon is completely out of control, the hunters begin charging up all their energy as they prepare for a final attack. Very soon, the people starts launching in towards the monster as they bombard the creature continuously by sacrificing their own lives and causing the giant demon tremendous pain. Before Tenshi can charge in as well, he notices that the monster has been forced to reveal its true form and finally showing its weakness. This allows the main character to jump in and slice off the creature's head as he finally manages to kill the giant monster. All the survivors are able to recover as they witness the demon slowly vanishing into the air. It's quickly revealed that this was the last demon that was left on Earth, and the hunters can now finally rest knowing that their duties are completed. However, humanity did not thank the warriors for what they did while eventually casting them out just like the monsters. This caused all the hunters to go into hiding for 7 years, while the three brothers are forced to become fishermen, but they're clearly not very good at doing their jobs. After another day of unsuccessful hunting, they have no choice but to return home empty-handed, while the other fisherman watches them in anger, thinking that they scared the animals away. Before the people can finish complaining, one of their friends has arrived to help as well, and he's brought some alcohol that was given to him by a female doctor. The fisherman tries try to get a drink right away, while completely ignoring how unusual the liquids look. At the same time, while the three brothers are heading home, they quickly notice that something is wrong as a fisherman is shaking on the floor while his friends are eating his flesh. Suddenly, the people begin attacking Fionn and reveals themselves to be hideous monsters that only desires to consume human flesh. Luckily, before the brother is killed, Tenshi is able to stop the creature while breaking the monster's neck. Chan sees this and immediately grabs onto his sword while cutting the second monster in half. It turns out that these humans have somehow turned into demons, and Tenshi thinks that the strange alcohol is the culprit for the transformation. They go back towards the city where they plan to investigate further, but before they head out, a wounded man appears behind the people who they recognize as a demon hunter right away. The people have no choice but to take the man towards the nearest hospital, where Fionn's girlfriend Shauna works there as a doctor. The brothers also meet another woman whose name is Layla, and surprisingly, she seems to recognize the main character's face. It turns out that she was the young girl that the hunters rescued a long time ago, but Tenshi no longer recognizes the woman anymore. The people quickly bring the wounded man towards the back while trying their best to save the hunter's life, and eventually manages to bring him back to consciousness. It turns out that the hunter was investigating a nearby wine factory after many civilians disappeared around the area. The man quickly noticed that something is very wrong and is eventually attacked by the demons inside. The hunter begs the brothers to slay the monsters before his metal arm disappears while the man dies from the injuries. Realizing that the demons are somehow all coming back, the people decide to investigate the wine factory at night and eventually arrive towards the creepy building. The team carefully sneaks into the area, but what they don't realize is that the boss has already begun feeding his workers the wines. This causes the people to mutate immediately as they're all turned into the fish monsters from before. At the same time, Tenshi continues leading his people into the building as they eventually arrive into the wine cellar. To their surprise, the team quickly discover that the workers have been using demonic blood to make their alcohol. Suddenly, the hunters notice a shadow running behind the walls, which causes them to chase after the monsters, but is eventually all separated inside the darkness. This leaves Layla all by herself while she tries desperately to look for the others, but only runs into even more demons as a sticky hand is approaching her from the back. Luckily, Tenshi is able to save her just in time, but they quickly hear something very big on the roof, while the other two brothers are cornered by the monster as well, and they're quickly taken away while being ambushed by the creatures inside the mist. On the other side, Tenshi continues running away with the girl as they try desperately to escape, but soon begins feeling an evil presence inside the other room. The people watches in shock as two giant hands pulls open the door, while the same demon witch from years ago begins attacking the humans furiously. Luckily, Tenshi manages to save the girl as they barely dodge the enemy's attacks, but the creature is able to take the chance and throws the main character onto the floor. Just before Tenshi is devoured alive, Layla decides to save the man as she begins transforming like she's from Sailor Moon and turning into a fox demon. The woman quickly whips out her tail and strikes the enemy across the building, while the other brothers have made it out as well. The demon tries desperately to escape as it realizes that it's completely outmatched, but Fionn is able to grab the creature and throws it onto the ground. This allows Chen to jump in while he stabs the demon right in the back and quickly killing the monster as a result. At the same time, Tenshi quickly recovers and goes towards the woman, but is shocked to see that she's actually a demon as well. Layla reveals to the main character that she's the same girl that he saved a long time ago, and the explosion did eventually kill her human body. However, when the giant demon died as well, its blood was able to transform her into something else. After realizing the truth, Tenshi decides to cover up her origins as he takes her outside towards his two brothers. Before they can decide on what to do next, they're quickly interrupted by the police force, who blames the demon hunters for trespassing the area. Chan sees this and throws the demon's head towards the soldiers and showing the people the demon that they just killed. The hunters are immediately taken back to the governor, but instead of thanking the brothers, the man wants them to leave the city right away. This causes the hunters to become furious, but the governor threatens to frame the brothers for killing all the humans if they choose to disobey his order hunters. Tenshi realizes that they're out of options and has no choice but to leave immediately. The team returns back to the hospital while the main character ponders why they're so hated by all the people. What's even worse, Fion's girlfriend also left him in anger after learning that the brothers are outcasted by the governor. However, Tenshi refuses to leave the city before rectifying their reputations, as he knows that the governor must be hiding a dark secret. It turns out that the hunter's intuition is correct, as the man is taking instructions from a mysterious figure and begging the person to alleviate the pain from his illness. Surprisingly, the mastermind turns out to be the demon hunter's master, who has poisoned the governor and demands that he kill all the hunters in return for the antidote. It's quickly revealed that the minister also has a dark secret of his own, as he always brings a young woman inside his dungeon where a giant hole is opened up on the ground. He pushes the girl inside and causing her to drop into the cave where numerous skeletons are lying on the floor. Very soon, the woman begins to see a tentacle monster that quickly devours her alive while the governor starts dancing maniacally. It turns out that the man is secretly keeping a powerful demon locked up and using the monster's blood to bring back the demons, as the entity has promised to help him take vengeance on the master who poisoned him, but only if it's allowed to revive its own species first. The next morning, Tenshi decides to go secretly investigate the minister, while Fion plans to try and reconciliate with his girlfriend. The main character sneaks below the governor's building and is quickly able to get inside as he avoids all the soldiers. He eventually manages to make it into the basement floor where the governor is hiding the demon, but the man is even more shocked to see the celestial sphere which belongs to his master. On the other side, Fion is finally able to meet his girlfriend once again, but is surprised to see that Shauna is acting like a completely different person. The woman tries continuously to seduce the demon hunter while grabbing onto his hand, but to his surprise, the girl then begins shouting for help. This causes the father to rush inside while trying to protect his daughter, and eventually throwing the demon hunter onto the street while all the people are shaming him as well. The man looks up in confusion, only to see that Shauna has planned this from the very beginning, while the woman eventually stabs him right in the heart, which kills him as a result. Sometimes later, Chen has arrived to the marketplace, but is shocked to see that his younger brother is already dead. He quickly runs towards Fion, not realizing that numerous soldiers are waiting to ambush him as well. Chen immediately cuts down his brother's body, but the archers launch their arrows right away and manages to hit the hunter multiple times. Very soon, even more arrows are shot towards the man, which forces Chen to block the attacks immediately and eventually falling down as a result. Before the man dies from the wounds, he sees the governor appear in front of him and mocks him for being so easily tricked, while the hideous demon flies in to take vengeance as well. Later that night, the rain begins to pour onto the ground while Tenshi has finally arrived to look for his brothers, but only to see that they're lying motionlessly on the floor. Luckily, the main character realizes that Chen is somehow still alive, which causes him to take away his brothers as he rushes them towards the doctor immediately. Layla sees this and quickly goes to help, but she's not able to heal Chen no matter how hard she tries. This makes Tenshi realize that only one person can save his brother, and immediately brings Chen away from the city. The people eventually arrive towards the demon mountain, which is also the home for the demon hunters. Tenshi goes towards the master and begs the man to save his brother, but also reveals that he knows that the old man is working with the minister. The main character demands to know the reason for the betrayal, but only receives a furious attack by the master that sends him flying across the field. The old man explains that the demon stone, which is fused on the right arm of each hunter, contains too much power, which will cause war between countries as they fight over the elements. However, the stone can only be destroyed when the human host is dead, which means that the hunters had to die after eliminating all the demons to ensure peace in humanity. The master reveals that he was the one who caused all the tragedies to happen, as he paid off the people to do his dirty work, so that all the hunters are hated and eventually killed. Tenshi becomes furious after hearing the truth and launches into the air as he charges directly at the old man. Surprisingly, the master only smiles and throws away his weapon as he allows Tenshi to stab him right in the heart. He tells the main character that the demon stone must be destroyed, and they have to make the sacrifice for the greater good. The old man passes the celestial sphere to the main character and entrusting Tenshi to finish their duty before finally passing away while causing the hunter to cry in agony. On the other side, Layla is watching over Chan's body but quickly hears a terrible voice as the tentacle demon jumps out from the hunter while attacking the woman at the same time. This causes the girl to transform once again as she tries to fend off the creature's attacks but is quickly overpowered by the monster instead while crashing onto the ground. Luckily, instead of forcing his tentacles onto the girl, the demon prefers the man even more as it rushes over and begins fusing itself inside the demon hunter. This causes Chan to levitate into the air while tremendous power begins surging through his body and transforming the man into a hideous creature. Tenshi is able to make it into the room and quickly rushes towards his brother to help, but is only pierced by the tentacle instead, which gravely injures the main character as a result. Chan is forced into tears as he has completely lost control of his body, which causes him to rush away from the area. The man quickly makes it outside and begins transforming into an enormous creature while eventually heading towards the city. Very soon, the soldiers on the wall begins to feel that something is wrong as they quickly see a gigantic humanoid charging towards them. The monster causes earthquake with every step that it takes while conjuring up a huge fireball and tossing it directly towards the buildings. This causes tremendous damage towards the city as the flames are thrown towards the people and completely destroying their homes. The armies quickly rush onto the walls while trying desperately to defend against the continuous bombings. The soldiers immediately launch their counter-attack as well by shooting countless arrows with bombs towards the enemy. However, the attacks are not very effective against the giant creature as it continues bombarding the city while eventually reaching the front gates. The governor finally comes out and begins yelling at the monster to obey his orders just like before, but this only causes the demon to laugh maniacally at the human's naivety. Realizing that he's been tricked, the governor watches hopelessly as the giant demon throws in its fist and destroying the area with a single punch. Luckily, before the city can be completely destroyed, the main character manages to arrive onto the battlefield despite the previous injuries. The man quickly goes in front of the giant demon as he plans on taking down the monster all by himself and saving his brother at the same time. He rushes towards the massive creature and begins jumping onto its enormous body while eventually landing on the enemy's back. Tenshi continues charging forwards as he launches towards the titan's neck where he sees that Chan is being trapped inside the creature's skin. The hunter tries to approach closer to finally free his brother, but the monster quickly knocks away the man by using its giant hand. This causes the demon hunter to fall down from the enemy's body and eventually crashing onto the ground, which renders the man unconscious as a result. However, the fight is not over yet as it turns out that many more demon hunters were hiding inside the city this whole time. The people quickly gather onto the walls while the giant monster continues approaching closer, which allows all the demon hunters to jump towards the massive titan. The humans manage to land onto the demon's back as they all try to attack the monster's neck, but is quickly knocked away like nothing but insects. This gives them no other choice but to charge directly at the creature as they bombard the monster by sacrificing their own lives. At the same time, Tenshi is being called upon by a mysterious force as it tries to reawaken the man's powers. It's quickly revealed that Layla was the one who tried to save the hunter after he was wounded by his brother, as she realized that there was only one way to bring back his life. She quickly takes the dragon stone that's burning her hands and pushes it into the man's chest. Layla cries in sadness as she gives Tenshi a final kiss while transferring all her energy into the hunter, which causes the woman to vanish into nothing but dust. Tenshi is eventually able to wake up after remembering the woman's sacrifice, and he quickly jumps towards the monster while attacking it with all his power. The creature roars furiously towards the human, but Tenshi is able to knock away its arm while jumping down and cutting the monster right on its feet. This gives him a chance to launch into the sky as the titan slowly falls onto the ground, which allows the hunter to stab the creature furiously on its back. Tenshi quickly knocks away the shell as he tries to save his brother, but soon realizes that the man is completely fused onto the titan's body. Chan realizes that he can't be saved and begs the main character to end his life so they can stop the demon from hurting anyone else. With no other choice, Tenshi cries in agony and is forced to stab his brother right in the heart, which ends up killing the man and finally destroying the demon as well. Very soon, the people realize that the battle is won and begin celebrating in victory, but Tenshi is unable to feel happiness at all, as only sadness can be seen in his eyes. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.